Outside this door. The authorities have been called and the parking attendant is guarding the body, which is lying in the mud by the side of the building.
From all those heavy rains.
What was the murder weapon?
I must go to him.
No, Honoria. Officer Shooting Eyes has secured the door. I'm afraid we all must remain here until his investigation is complete. They do not want anyone out there obstructing the evidence. I'm sorry. We must all remain inside until this has been solved.
What else can you tell us? What have they found?
Let me explain. I'm sure that our guests realize that before the invitations were sent, our security agents did extensive investigations on each guest. Yet there is still one we are trying to trace. Now there are some questions to be considered since a murder has been committed, and I must inform all ambassadors that when a capital crime has been committed, there will be no immunity for the murderer.
What?
Also, we have 3 officers inspecting all the limousines and cars that are parked in the lot. And already, their preliminary findings is that several questionable objects have been found so far.
What? Questionable objects in the cars and limousines? What kind of questionable objects?
Well, let me list a few. But we won't know the actual cause of death until a medical forensic officer makes the report. The coroner assures me we will know within the hour.
Quick, tell us these questionable objects that might have caused my beloved's murder.
Well, this is hard to believe, but there are several live poisonous snakes and spiders in containers, of course. There are all kinds of weapons, guns in books, guns in radios, guns in a valise, guns in shoes, 6 shooters, and all loaded, of course. There are flats of poisonous plants and mushrooms. Now, why would anyone come to reception with something like that in their car?
Now this sounds suspicious. Anything else?
So many things. Bloody rags, boomerangs, clubs, and a collection of medieval killing devices.
Oh no, my poor Willoughby.
While our investigation is in full force, we must all help to determine the motive. Who in this group would benefit, or who would have such a hatred of Willoughby that he or she would turn to murder?
Let me ask all of you for your help in apprehending this despicable murderer. Please open your #1 envelope for additional help to try to have an enjoyable time as possible under these terrible circumstances. Directs you to someone which you cannot locate. We've posted the information of several of the missing guests over here on this board. So that may be key to you in helping us with the investigation. If you can't find your party, they may not have made it, and their information that you need to access is posted on this board over here to our right at the registration table. Thank you. Take it easy on Aronia. We'll find the murderer. Tell us, Vigilantina, what additional information have your agents found?
Well, I believe we have some very concrete material to work with now. These items seem to be surfacing: a dagger, arrows, darts, shooting darts, swords, knitting needles, acupuncture needles, hat pins, pins of all sorts, ice picks, sharp medical instruments, sharp spikes, and sharp metal rods of all kinds. Oh, but I implore our guests to please help us uncover just who this despicable villain is. Please open your envelope number 2.
Found in envelope 2 at this time and put them in the container at the front table.
I haven't decided yet.
And then the murderer will be apprehended.
I said she, I didn't give her.
We have our murderer.
Have your day.
I better. I have a good lawyer.
Oh, I have to come to the front.
Yeah, it's got a camera. It's got everything but the cell phone connection.
I'd like to congratulate those of you that have successfully solved the murder mystery this evening. We're going to read the names of those who have successfully identified our murderer. Dan Kerpus, Rose Gasser, Pam Hemingway, of course, Peg Pucci, Marcia Chambers. I have Lancelot with other names that you can't get.
That's me.
Oh, okay. That would be Jack Chinnick, of course.
I didn't know I was supposed to put my
Charlotte Gravely. There's another empty one. That must be Jack too. Denise Gonzalez. Wally, I can't read your last name. Wally Camden, congratulations. Bonnie Kerpus. Joe Golda. Ryan Golda. Sounds like a pretty good team there. Susan Glover. Kathy Geller. Tom Hatcher.
Oh, he's new. He
Bill
knows.
Wells. Congratulations. Not another screen.
First of all, I want to talk to you who accused me. It's always the wife. But I got to tell you, he had no money and he wasn't good in bed. That said, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I hope you had fun and continue to have fun tonight.
Our murderer has a confession to give.
Yes. My real name is Kay Tocallan, and I'm sure I'm on the list of the most wanted in the whole world for Scotland Yard. She knew. I am not a doctor of any kind. I used to be Woodbin's political aide and his hired killer. During his climb to great heights in politics 10 years ago, he used me to skim money for his personal use from the election fund, like everybody else does, and to help him murder his opponents, like everyone else does. When he was finally accused, he blamed me, and I was sent to prison. That's why I did so much volunteer work at the prison. When he was Yes. I recently escaped, but while I was in prison, I learned of many more evil deeds that Woodbin continually got away with, blaming others.
They go fast.
I knew he had to be stopped. In prison, I worked at many tricks. And one of the skills of acupuncture, because I knew Woodhaven was noted for using acupuncture, I fabricated credentials and faked impressive documents with forged verifications. Then I worked on a good disguise and changed my name to Lancelot Acay, so Woodhaven would not recognize me. I spent 9 years plotting to get even with him. I knew Woodhaven's habits, and I knew he suffered pain in his shoulders, radiating down through his chest every time he was called to preside over a social function. I was like, he had a personal acupuncturist who would give him a treatment before he was to perform.
20. Okay.
I waited this acupuncturist.
42 is my record.
I waylaid this acupuncturist and took his place as a substitute. Woodhaven didn't care. He was in pain when he drove up into the parking lot. He wanted fast relief. Ready and waiting. I gave it to him. I jammed my ancient 12-inch Chinese sharp bone needle directly into his heart. What a rush. When he recognized me, and then he gave his last breath. I pulled the needle out, and I was avenged at last. The end.